Nolan's biggest gamble of his career, the Odyssey. So is this a bet a massive risk? Or is it a blindfolded slam dunk? Dropping $250 million on a 3,000-year-old epic poem? That takes some serious guts, man. Serious guts. Honestly, even Agamemnon probably didn't spend this much heading off to Troy. Back in the day, people went to the movies to see their favorite actors, right? That's just not how it works anymore. These days, people aren't only hyped about A-list stars. They're just as hyped about big-name directors. And when it comes to the Nolan, Oppenheimer was an original biopic. No franchise, no sequel baggage, and it still pulled about $975 million worldwide. Became an absolute box office monster, no cap. So yeah, it takes total sense that actors and studios look at that and think, yeah, we can trust Nolan with anything. And honestly, I don't blame them. It's not just about Nolan's name carrying the whole thing. The Odyssey is one of the oldest, most retold stories on the planet. Countless movies, books, games, and scripts have pulled from it over the centuries. I mean, how many stories are still getting told 3,000 years later? Come on, man. So the idea of hearing this ancient story through Nolan's lens, that's a pitch people can resist, right? Which means huge viewership numbers are basically a done deal at this point. And look, we all know Hollywood's been stuck on repeat for years, cranking out sequel after sequel and superhero universe after superhero universe. I'm not saying those are bad movies, but come on, we want something new for once, right? Nolan basically looked at that whole trend and said, nope, not doing it. And pulling off a fresh take on a story that's been told 1,000 times over. That's not easy, dude. That's not easy. That takes real skill. This guy took one of the oldest stories ever written and threw a massive modern-day investment behind it. Now, let's get into the part that actually matters. Yeah, the money. I said $250 million, but the number's just the production budget. And come on, you think a movie this big doesn't get marketed globally too? Word around the industry is the real total is closer to $375 million. So yeah, I opened with $250 million gamble, but the actual money on the table is way, way bigger than that. If Odysseus had this kind of cash, I'm pretty sure his trip home wouldn't have taken 10 years. Anyway, where'd all that money actually go? Nolan basically walked away from the whole digital effects world we have gotten used to. This entire movie was shot on IMAX 70mm cameras on real locations. No green screen, no studio sets built from scratch. The guy shot an actual film in the actual world with actual real light. I am not even kidding you. And the second this thing hits theaters, IMAX handed over basically every screen they had to this movie for 3 straight weeks. A company betting that hard on one single film, that's a story in itself, bro. Now, let's talk about actors' paychecks. Honestly, this might be the part people are most curious about. Because everyone always wants to know, okay, but how much did these actors actually make? I have got some numbers here, but heads up, none of this is officially confirmed, okay? Word on the street is Matt Damon pulled the biggest check playing Odyssey, somewhere around $50 million. Right behind him, Tom Holland reportedly made about $10 million as Telemachus. Charlize Theron said to have landed somewhere between 5 and 6 million playing Calypso. Zendaya reportedly got around 5 million as Athena. Anne Hathaway allegedly negotiated somewhere between 4 and 5 million for Penelope. On top of that, Robert Pattinson rumored to have made 6 to 7 million playing the villain Antonius, and Lupita Nyong'o reportedly took home a much more modest 1.5 to 2 million despite pulling double duty with 2 roles. See that gap? Same movie, wildly different paychecks depending on your role. Let me stop and point something out real quick. Matt Damon's 15 million? That's only about 6% of the movie's $250 million budget. So, this whole idea that the giant budget just goes straight into actors' pockets. Not really true. Not really true, man. The real money eater here is the IMAX gear. Shooting on real locations, costumes, sets, all that production stuff. So, who actually makes the most of this movie? Probably not actors. Probably Nolan himself. Word is Nolan took a $20 million upfront fee to direct this. And on top of that, he is reportedly getting 20% of the studio's total box office stake. So, this guy's putting his own money on the line too? He's not just cashing a paycheck and walking away. If the movie hits, he wins big. If it flops, good luck earning that kind of trust back. And that's really where the big question comes in. Historically, epic movies are a total coin. Some historical epics blow up out of nowhere, and some giant budget projects sink despite all that money behind them. Making a sword and sandals movie in today's Hollywood already takes guts, because nobody really makes those anymore. And on top of that, these things rated R, which cuts out anyone under 18 right off the bat. So, we are talking $375 million on a 3,000-year-old story, carrying genre risk and age restriction risk at the same time. Zero guarantees, straight up. So, did the bet pay off? When opening weekend numbers came in, everybody held their breath. And the result, the movie opened at $124.5 million in North America alone. Nolan's best domestic opening since The Dark Knight Rises. Add in $139.5 million from international markets, and you are looking at a $264 million global opening, the biggest global debut of Nolan's entire career. And get this, that number actually beat Oppenheimer's opening. Think that for a second. Almost 70% of the entire $375 million budget came back in the first 3 days. That's insane, bro, insane. But here is where it gets even wilder. Big budget movies almost always take a huge hit in their second weekend. People get their curiosity fix and the momentum dies fast. The Odyssey only dropped 27% in weekend 2, pulling in another $90 million. That's a number most movies will kill to hit on opening weekend. By the 2-week mark, the global total hit is $652 million. So basically double the budget in 10 days, no cap. And then there's the IMAX side of things. This movie became one of the fastest films in IMAX history to cross $100 million. Doing it in just 10 days, With only 25 IMAX 7mm theaters in the entire world, Film fans still packed those seats, and showtimes are sold out clear through September. So, Nolan's whole shoot it on real film, no shortcuts thing, it paid off. It paid off completely. Here is my take on all this. I think what's really going on here is that Nolan has basically become a brand on all his own. People aren't going to see the Odyssey. They're going to see Nolan's version of the Odyssey. That's what separates him from every other director out there. And studios know it, which is exactly why they hand him this kind of budget and this kind of creative freedom. Because he's putting skin in the game, right alongside them. Not just the studio taking all the risk. A $375 million bet on a 3,000 year old story using the most expensive filmmaking tech we have got right now. Based on the results so far, it's paying off big time. So, what do you think? Does this momentum keep going? Or do the numbers start slowing down in the next few weeks? Let me know in the comments. Take care, guys.